a new knee. I need one, man. I've been struggling with this one that I left in Philadelphia all those years on the turf.
Hey, Herm, if they straighten these knees, you might be 6'2" again.
Hey, and you know what? I told this guy I might be able to run fast. I might have one hit left.
Calling all sports with Rock and Manooch. Weekday afternoons at 4 Eastern on SB Nation Radio. The Power Hour continues now on SB Nation Radio.
And on SBNationRadio.com.
Presented by Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. Live from the O'Reilly Auto Parts Studios, here's Jake Asman.
This hour of SB Nation Radio has been presented by Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. Rocket Mortgage is with you every step of the way to provide a seamless mortgage experience. Wrapping up the Power Hour here on a Wednesday evening. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place, from 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Let's end with this. According to Adam Schefter, multiple teams inquired to the Cardinals about Josh Rosen's trade availability at the Combine. But Adam Schefter's sources told him the Cardinals did not give those teams any indication that they're willing to move on from Rosen at this time. Here's the reality. Right now, Josh Rosen's still the quarterback. Steve Keim even said that when he was asked. He said, yeah, he is. Right now. ... For sure. Okay. But we're still so early in the process, right? I mean, we're talking Murray every night because it's such a big story, but we haven't had pro days yet. We haven't had personal visits. The reality is that the Cardinals wanted to trade Rosen. It won't take that long for them to work out a deal. So they don't need to play their hand yet. In fact, I would be very surprised if at the Combine they were like, yeah, we're trading him. I mean, it's obvious we're taking Kyler. Why would they do that to themselves? What if some team offers them 3 number ones to move up for the first pick? You don't think maybe that changed their mind a bit on what they do? So this is all smoke right now, where everyone's just playing the game, and we still got 50 days until draft night. We'll be playing the game again tomorrow. My thanks to Jose. We'll talk to you all tomorrow. Have a good night, everybody.
You're listening to Western Reserve Radio at westernreserveradio.com on the Live 365 network and the Live 365 app.
Quicken Loans presents the Sports Flash, driven by Jeep on Western Reserve Radio. NBA tonight, the Cavaliers visit the Nets. Cleveland coming off Sunday's 107-93 victory at home over the Orlando Magic. The Nets started off the season hot, but they've slipped as of late. Just 4 wins in their last 10. They're 7th in the Eastern Conference, a 500 team at 33-30. The Cavaliers 16-48. NHL last night, the Blue Jackets beat the Devils 2-1 in the shootout. In overtime, the Penguins beat the Panthers 3-2. Both teams jockeying for position in the Metropolitan Division. The win for the Penguins pulls them into a third-place tie with the Carolina Hurricanes. Columbus keeping pace. They remain 2 points behind both teams. College hoops, Toledo beat Western Michigan 76-57. Kent State 75-66 winners at Miami of Ohio. Number 19, Buffalo beat the Ohio Bobcats 82-79. Jeep's the most awarded SUV brand ever. Take advantage of Jeep Freedom Days now at your local Jeep dealer. The Sports Flash is driven by Jeep. Chuck Sanders, Western Reserve Radio.
What's in store for your business this week at Staples?
Give a powerful print promotion a try.
If your business needs marketing materials and you haven't tried Staples, now's the time.
Because right now, you can earn 100% back in rewards on your first in-store print and marketing services purchase up to $100.
From presentations to banners, Staples can make your business look great.
Earn 100% back in rewards.
Staples. There's a whole lot in store.
For customers who have not made a full-service print and marketing purchase since 3/1/18, exclusions apply. Ends 3/23/19. See associate for details.
Endless scratching. The itch from my eczema is unbearable. Are you struggling to get relief from chronic itching due to your atopic dermatitis, also known as eczema? If so, you may qualify for a clinical study testing an investigational medication for the severe itch associated with atopic dermatitis. Qualified participants will receive study-related care and medication at no charge. Call 1-844-777-4824 or 1-844-777-ITCH. Or visit advandastudy.com for more information on how to participate. Sponsored by Vanda Pharmaceuticals.
Get ready. It's Fight Night in Youngstown with your host, owner and editor of YoungstownBoxingNews.com, Brian Whan.
We are back at it, Brian and Vinny. What's going on there, Vinny?
Not much. What's happening?
Man, not too much. Went to the fights this past weekend in Pittsburgh. We had Mike McSorley on last week. We talked about the show that he had with his Ukrainian fighters, the Pittsburgh Priori Grand Hall. And I'll tell you what, amazing place for a fight, man. It was cool. It was a cool place, man. Parking there stinks. It was kind of looked like Mr. Rogers' neighborhood a little bit where the fights were. A lot of one-way streets, not much parking, but a great night of fights.
That's all of Pittsburgh. You know, you can't go anywhere with not running to a one-way road.
But great night of fights, man. I ran into our buddy Rizemia Ford, who just had a child. He's all signed, ready to go. Pro contract, did an interview with him. Go to youngstownboxingnews.com to check out that interview. He's eyeballing a June date for his pro debut. Said he'll probably he's probably gonna fight at 126 or 130. He's gonna stay and still train with Common Ground Boxing or Athletic Club there in Alliance. He says probably gonna do a lot of his sparring in Pittsburgh. So camp time, he might spend some weekends or some weeks in Pittsburgh to get that good sparring that they got in Pittsburgh. A lot of people his weight class there in Pittsburgh too. So yeah, that was cool. The two Ukrainian guys picked up solid wins. It was a fun card, man. It was a good club show.
What about our Youngstown fighters? How'd they fare since I was unable to go?
John Gregory was a late scratch.
Oh, so he didn't end up fighting.
John Gregory didn't fight.
So he got pulled.
Any
details of why?
I've heard conflicts. Obviously, fingers get pointed at each other. So
yeah, absolutely. The behind the scenes stuff.
Behind the scenes stuff, but
and you'll never get the truth from both sides. There'll be some problems in the stories from both sides. However you want to view it. You know what I mean? One guy will say one thing, the other guy will say something else. So you have to make up your mind on your own.
When we had McSorley on, we were talking about the card. The one fight I was really intrigued was with our man Latisse Norman from Cleveland.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Just after Sunday afternoon, I read a post from that JT. Was it Brackett? Is that how you say it? Brackett? Or
Yeah,
is it
JT Brackett. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. That's who he fought. JT Brackett. From what I understand from his own post, was it now he's talking about taking a year off of boxing and getting a trainer and finding a gym to train at.
So has he just been training himself? I mean,
from what I just heard, for the most part, he has no trainer and no gym that he's out of, which I found was amazing for anybody to decide to go get their head bashed in, without having those two, especially as a professional, without having those two things in order.
That's what Eric Palmieri from Buffalo or Lockport, New York, pretty much does, and I'll get to his fight in a moment.
But did he have the Palmieri? Did he have a big amateur background, or did he have an amateur career?
You know what? I will find that out.
Yeah, because
we'll find that out, and we'll touch base with that the next show. But I can easily find that out. I just know that my man Skeets from Pittsburgh ended up working his corner. He didn't come with a corner man or nothing.
I've seen,
which is pretty common. I mean, you see that at least once or twice at a club show, every club show.
I've seen in the pro level. I've seen guys come into fights and not have a trainer with them for a multitude of reasons.
Finances.
Finances. Hey, sometimes sometimes the trainers can't get off of work.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? If they have another job, and which is a shame. And I've seen that pop up. I've also seen guys where the trainer said, "Hey, listen, if you're not going to pay for my flight and my fighters, then we're not coming." And then the fighter decided, "Well, I'm going to go anyways." So there's been I've seen some different reasons why people come to shows, but to say that you're not training at a gym, or that means you're not getting proper sparring, you're not getting proper instruction. Hey, your mistakes are being made. Who's watching them for you? Who's picking? Because anytime you look at yourself, how many times you see somebody out walking around, right? And you're like, man, I know you looked in the mirror before you left the house and realized that you thought you looked good when you left the house. Like, come on, man. like sometimes. So what I'm saying is, he's in the gym. He's in his gym, maybe his basement or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, he's got to be making mistakes. I don't care how much you try to film yourself. You know, it's just not the same, man.
Well, I'll tell you this. Latisse Norman was in control of that fight. It was funny. I was sitting there with Rizemian, and it was the first fight of the night. I said to Rizemian, I said, Rizemian, man, I got a feeling that Latisse is gonna be all over this guy, and he's gonna get a knockout. Dude, with 15 seconds to the fight, right? I mean, Latisse just came out just blazing, man, fists, and knocked him down. It was one of those, he just came out. I mean, I want to say it was controlled wild. He threw with fury, and I think he may have seen something, probably seen some film, and said, you know what, if I come at this guy aggressively, he's going to shut down. And, dude, he came out wild, but everything landed.
So he came out like Deontay Wilder?
Pretty much. And he caught him, dude. It was one of those catches where it was like a tenth of a second before he dropped. Like you can see,
like Deontay Wilder?
You saw the stun in the face. And then he fell. And then he gets up, does his and referee asks you, okay, does his, walk forward, whatever, and, allows the fight to continue. Dude, just on him again. And 10 seconds later, boom, right back down the canvas again. At that point, I was like, hey, you got to call this fight. But allows the fight to continue, and then it was over from there. Third time, then they finally waved up. But Latisse, man, I mean, Latisse, that was probably the easiest money Latisse Norman's going to make in his career there.
Yeah, probably. Hey, and I think every time, because this is like, what, the third time? Well, this would be the third time or fourth time you've seen Latisse?
I think the third time I've seen Latisse, and I'll tell you what.
Because I've seen him 3 times.
I'm happy for Latisse.
This is what he's like he's got like 4 or 5 fights now. I think I've seen him 3 times.
I think Latisse is now, he's either, I want to say he's 2-3 or 2-4.
Yeah, I think I've seen him fight 3 times.
Let's see, our bracket would have been 1-2, and Latisse was 1-3. I think going to a fight. I think Latisse is now 2-3.
Okay, and every time I have seen him, whether it's been 2 or 3 times, both times I've seen him fight, or the 3 times I've seen him fight, he's improved. Even when he fought Turtle,
yeah,
you know what I mean. Lavelle Hadley. Lavelle was hitting him with some big shots, but hey, he took some shots that night and moved through them, and I know that was probably one of the best learning experiences he could have had up to this point in his career, and it probably showed against Brackett, I'm sure.
Yeah, I see some talent in Latisse Norman. Actually, I don't think he's a bad fighter by any stretch of the imagination. And the team that Rizemian Ford did sign with, what's the guy's name? I got in the story here. I'm looking.
Oh, hold on. Hey James, this is Youngstown boxing. Youngstown boxing, Youngstown fight night, not Mikey and Spence fight night. That's for your show, man. Didn't you guys just do that?
Hey, why don't we? Hey, James,
we're gonna. You want
to call in the last 15 minutes and talk about it?
You can scream in my ear.
That'd be awesome. I do. That's a huge fight.
He's gonna take 6 minutes to respond now. He's trying to think of something clever.
No, but no, good. That was a good win for Latisse, though. No doubt about it. Yeah, James, anytime you want to call in and talk, Mikey Garcia and Errol Spence, definitely, man. The number's there. But, he signed with that Derek Gina Tola or something like that out of Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
And he was telling me, he's like, you know what, we're going to get Latisse fights. Latisse likes to fight, and we're going to find him some wins. And Latisse, we're going to build him a record, and they see something of Latisse, and he said it was real funny after Latisse got the knockout victory. He came to me and said, the other co-manager said, yeah, Latisse said to me, after that, he's like, hey, it's all right now if I go have myself a beer now, isn't it? He goes, yeah, I think you've earned that one, Latisse. So, no, that was good for him.
Take it easy, James. Family show.
Lucas Adams, out of Butler, PA, trains at Butler Cubs. He won a unanimous decision in his pro debut against Brock Willis, West Virginia.
What weight was that?
That fight, I want to say that was around. I didn't listen. Actually, I got it in my book bag there. All the weights, but I didn't write it down on this story here. But our boy Lewenberg, man, it's been a week, so the Demolition Man out of Ukraine. That's
There
what
you
we'll call
go,
it. There
yeah.
we go. Second round knockout out Thad Burkhausen, and he just laid it on this guy, man. He breezed right through him. Here's a name to keep an eye out, man. Lewin McClarney out of Pittsburgh. KO4 over Stephen Daly Jr. out of Parkersburg, West Virginia. But
Virginia?
West Virginia. This McClammy kid, though, man, he's tough. And then I thought was the fight night. Richie Catalina, I think he's now 3-0 against Eric Palmieri. And I think Palmieri came into this fight with a 1-9-1 record. He's the guy, Danny Rosenberger, pretty quick. And, after Rosenberger knocked him out, Palmieri actually picked up his first career victory. And I'm telling you what, I scored the fight as a draw. I scored the fight a 2-2 draw. One of the judges did have a 2-2 draw, and then the other two judges had 3-1 for Richie. But at this fight, Vinny would have went 30 more seconds. Richie was getting knocked out, man. Palmieri had him.
Oh, that's how close he was to his second win?
Dude, no, seriously. I mean, dude, he had him against the ropes. He landed a shot, and it stunned him. It cut him. I mean, the ropes were holding him up. His guard was completely down, and then the bell rang. It was over. It was going to be over.
I'm going to do it, but hey, so like their commission out there in Virginia, right? West Virginia? No, it was in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh.
Pennsylvania. Yeah.
Pittsburgh, right? The kid was from West Virginia. What did you say? He's 1-9.
He's actually from Palmieri's from New York.
New York. Okay,
Lockport, Buffalo area.
But he came into Pittsburgh and he got cleared with a 1-8 record or 1-9.
It would have been a 1-9 record.
Oh,
But you got to remember, he was coming off a win that he won though. Pittsburgh.
I guess
the commissioner of Pennsylvania, his thing is don't come in here with 3 straight losses. So,
well, I mean, that's something. At least that's something. Okay, 1-9. Well, I didn't lose my last one.
But
then you get another fight.
Outside the Danny fight and maybe another fight. I mean, a lot of it's been decision losses and.
I mean, I get it, but that ain't flying here in Ohio.
No, but
sure.
Bernie ain't gonna let him fight.
No, if you come in with an upside down record like that, you're not fighting in Ohio. I know that much.
Hey, then our boy Oleg Dovin from Pittsburgh with the unanimous decision win over Darren Williams. That was a great fight, man. 2 7-0 guys. Super bandweight fight. It was a fun fight. Darren Williams, he got caught early. Got dropped in the second round. Since that point of the fight, man, he was fighting off his back foot the whole fight.
I hope that don't stink.
I'm over here smashing on candy.
and Kickstarters.
Davin Carter from Jamestown, New York with KO3 over Michael Manna of Pittsburgh. That was Manna's first career loss. He drops to 3-1. Davin Carter improves to 1-1. But I saw Davin Carter fight in November. He fought on the same card you did. And our boy Daniel Infante from Burnside's worked him for 4 rounds, got a decision over there. And so I guess Infante was telling me that he was originally supposed to be the opponent for this Michael Manna, and then they kind of pulled out. A lot of hearsay
Yeah, one side says one thing, the other side says something else. Yep.
But I could possibly see that. You never know. So yeah, that was my night in Pittsburgh, man. I'll tell you what. Only took me about an hour, 10 minutes to get there. It was right on the North Shore there, right down past everything. I was home and in bed by 11:33.
Oh, yeah?
11:33.
That's impressive. And you had to be at work when?
4 a.m.
Oh, that's impressive.
So
kudos to you.
My story.
I can't do that.
My story didn't get wrote till Monday.
I can't just go to the fights and then go straight home and go to bed.
But we got some amateur fights coming up in Youngstown this
week.
Yes, sir. The 7 Nightclub, Wedgwood Plaza.
Yeah, it's right there.
So I think first bell is actually different time.
It's actually going to be at 6 o'clock. Yes. Doors open at 5. Club 7. That's March 9th, right? That's this weekend. Yep, this Saturday. It should be a good show, man. It's going to be the first time, a show at a boxing show at the Club 7, which is being put on by Tommy Cordell and Lights Out Management, Mike Safaldi. And being hosted pretty much by Club 7 and Brent Fury bringing that to action. So it should be entertaining, full bar. There's going to be a kitchen, good atmosphere. It should be it is Lights Out Management, so let's be careful. Hey, there should be a nice light display and everything. It should be hooked up. So I'm real I'm real excited to see what's going to happen down there and what the venue's going to look like.
Kind of like maybe take a little bit of take a page out of when they have the Battle of the Ballroom up there in Lakewood.
Hey, you got a nice facility that this should be a laid out show if you ask me. And I say that because I was in talks about this, having a show out at this nightclub probably about 2 years ago with one of my fighters' fathers, Giant Dent, and he was telling me, you should talk to him about having a show out there and this and that, and I brought it up. Anyways, so Brent Fury got a hold of the boxing community, and they're getting ready to have this fight card out there. And like I said, I'm real excited to see how it's all set up and the way it's run, because I think it should be a really fun night. And I'm actually really glad that I got 2 fighters on the show, so I have, so I will be there and I'll be in the mix and things will be going on. So. Yeah, if you ain't doing nothing, you're listening, come on out and check out some of the fights here in Youngstown.
I like that 6 o'clock start time, only because I got to work at 4 o'clock the next morning, and we are springing ahead with our clocks, I think, that night. And
I don't mind the 6 o'clock fight timing because
I'm losing an hour of sleep.
In reality, it's probably not going to kick off until 6:30. How many lights out shows? How many boxing shows have you been to that start exactly on time?
Well, I remember the first amateur fight that we went to together started an hour late because they didn't have a bell.
Yeah, the bell.
They didn't have a bell, so they actually, it was at the Ukrainian Hall, and so they went to the kitchen area and they seriously got a pot and pan.
They had a pot and pan. Hey, the Ukrainian Hall, nice spot to have fights. The one thing about the Ukrainian Hall, it doesn't set an atmosphere for fights. It doesn't. You know what I mean? The lighting ain't right. I don't know. So for me, when especially as a fighter, you go into these events and I guess maybe it's just from fighting for so long now that I expect to be on a stage. You know what I mean?
I'll tell you what. You talk about the lighting. I think it was whenever I'd see those European fights. I think it was was it in Europe where you first start seeing like all the lights like kind of like coming up from the ground up in the background? Now it's pretty much like commonplace whenever you see a big time fight. The backlighting, I guess you call it.
Oh, the backlighting. The one that always gets me is when you go to a top rank card, and I've been to the show, so I know what it looks like. But when you're watching it on TV, it looks like the ceiling with the lights, the white lights that are going at an angle. You probably never even noticed.
You're talking about the fights in the theater at New York City.
Yeah, but they do that. They do that everywhere. If you notice, hey, that's just Top Rank's thing. They had the same lighting when we were out in Reno last year, and I was and then they had the same lighting what a month later when we were in Vegas with Popo. If you really think about it, I know you probably weren't paying attention to that at the time.
Good times there in Vegas. But anybody is interested in the boxing scene, so we got Saturday, March 9th, Club 7. Saturday, March 23rd, Cleveland Air City Boxing Club at the Cleveland Boxing Classic will be an amateur event at the Cleveland Fairfax Recreation Center. That's actually a noon first bell, so some daytime fights. Then March 30th, Euclid, Ohio. Fight to Unite Against Gun Violence, the Little Giants Boxing Club. That'll be first bell at 7 o'clock at the Central Middle School Gymnasium.
Yeah, I'm trying to get a couple guys on that show. Hopefully it all works out.
Then to me, the real summer kicks off of the boxing, and this is May 3rd and 4th. The Lake Area Association, which is our association of USA Boxing. They do a good job. Our people over there. Love Leslie.
Yeah, it's an LBC.
And this will be the Junior Olympic Tournament. And
yeah,
they're having it at Brook Park this year.
Yeah, the JOs, in Brook Park. That's where it was at last year, too.
That's where it was at last year, okay.
Yeah.
And then in May 17th, Westside Boxing Club Incorporated, Battle in the Ballroom 27. At the Slovenian National. Those are always good shows.
Those are good shows. Those are really good shows. I enjoy them. That's one of the shows that you go to, and the lighting's good, the ring's nice, the setup, everything's perfect.
And then the Cleveland Golden Gloves, Cleveland area Golden Gloves kicks off March 24th. The Tavern Fight Club, the Tavern Club, 3522 Prospect Avenue, Cleveland. And those will take course over, 1 or 2 weeks, usually, sometimes maybe 3?
It's 2 weekends straight.
2 weekends straight?
Last year, it was supposed to be 2 weekends, and they had ended up just wrapping it up Friday through Sunday.
Okay.
So we'll have to see how that plays out.
Depends. Well,
kind of depends on the entries and stuff like that.
Yeah. And then Friday, July 12th, 20, King's Gym, Warrensville Heights, the Royal Church Multiplex. That's 7 o'clock starts. That's pretty much like the Lake Area Association schedule of amateur fights that they have now. There's going to be more fights that are going to pop up. I mean, Lights Out Management, they've already said they're planning on putting a show out this summer.
Yeah, these are the dates that are already locked in.
And you
set.
lock it in so that way, because there's only so many judges to go around. And so you pretty much book your date, and then once that date's set in, no other shows are going on in the Lake Area Association that night, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So, hey, that's what the schedule. I mean, if you're a boxing fan, there's practically between Cleveland, Akron, Pittsburgh, there's pretty much boxing shows every weekend. And, hey, this is something that we were talking about, and I told you I had this discussion with Danny Rosenberger when I was talking to him last time, and you said this was like this when you were, coaching Marine Corps boxing. But down in Florida, Danny was telling me that, they'd have these amateur shows, and it wasn't like here where you're trying to match make. You're trying to build a card for a show. It's pretty much like, hey, you know what, get together at this place, almost practically maybe at a gym where you're putting seats down and stuff, and guys just show up, and you bring your book, and you pair up, and you fight, and you're getting fights, and you're building resume. It don't matter if you're winning or losing, you're getting experience. And that's how you see these guys with 100 of some amateur fights, to the pro level. As opposed here, everybody's trying to monkey around, turn down fights like it's almost like a pro event sometimes. And I know you've kind of, you wish that's how it was. And explain to the viewers and listeners out there what exactly I'm talking about here.
Okay, yes. So let me just start by saying you're absolutely right. It was so fun to get in the car and ride to a gym and show up there with 5-year guys and hand the guys running the event your books, and know that you're gonna have 5 guys on the show because they're gonna start at noon and run boxing until 5 o'clock, and everybody's gonna get matched if they can get matched, and right there on the spot. There is no pre-matching, so like right now, if you set a date, you start calling around coaches, and then they send you the list of fighters, and then you look at all the list of fighters you got, and you start trying to match guys up, and then you call the trainer, and they got to accept the fight. See, out in California, it was show up. Hey, and if there was somebody there and you wanted to take the fight, hey, it was made right then and there. There was no bickering. There was no nothing. Guys were showing up stacked with teams, loaded with guys. You know what I mean? You'd have 20, 30, 40 kids standing around, waiting to see if they were going to fight, and they would match make right there on the spot. Hey, some guys would show, oh, you're good, that was me, I'm just clicking my fingers over here. Anyways, guys would show up and take fights, and you knew everybody was ready. That's what they were there for. They were there to fight, Up here, you don't have that. You got guys backing out at the last minute, guys worried about who's fighting who. To me, it was enjoyable to go out and see all the kids and all the young guys hungry and wanting to fight and knowing that they were in shape and ready to put their skills to the test. And out here sometimes, and I'm sure a lot of these guys that are putting on these shows would agree with me, saying, hey, it's a pain in the derriere to set fights and keep those fights. I mean, you figure most of these shows will have 14, 15 fights lined up, and only 10 to 12 fights go off. If you're lucky.
We got Sammy Calderon tuning in right now. I just seen his.
Sammy, why don't you give us a call, Sammy?
Sammy, give us a call. 330-307-4202.
He's gonna need you to say that like 4 more times.
330-707-4202.
2 more times.
330-707-4202. Sammy, if you're listening,
one more time so we can get the last 2 digits.
330-707-4202.
I'm sure he's gonna call in now.
That'd be nice, because there's something I want to talk to him about, because
right now he's trying to look for his phone. Right now he's trying to look for his phone. I'm gonna tell you, you're looking at it.
We got 3 minutes till we go to our break here, but to kind of clue everybody in what's going on here is we got a fighter who's going to be fighting for a belt from the area.
Yeah, we are.
Danny Rosenberger is going to be fighting for the vacant USA New England middleweight title. Quick turnaround from his last fight, which was February 16th out in Mount Air. He had a draw. I mean,
his nickname, we might nickname him the Draw. You know? Hollywood, the Draw.
4 draws, man.
Yeah, Danny the Draw.
But he's going to be taking on 26-year-old Worcester, Massachusetts native Kendrick Ball Jr. next Friday, March 15th, in Worcester, Massachusetts. And it's the inaugural fight card of a upstart promotion company called Shern's Boxing Promotions. And the guy is going to be fighting. He's a taller fighter. He's, I think, 6'2". Danny got some work in with Willie Nelson to kind of try to get used to that height.
Yes, he did. Yep. That was just last week.
Danny said he had troubles getting inside a little bit, and as I told Danny, and I talked to Willie a little bit about it. Obviously, this guy's fighting is going to be nowhere near the caliber of Willie Nelson.
I was just about to say that. Like,
it's not even going to be close. But you know what?
Well, that wasn't nice.
I mean,
whoever that person is out there, you just dissed him like that. Ain't even going to be close.
I mean, to the caliber. I mean, there's no getting around it. Willie Nelson's knocked out real champions.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. I'm just saying.
Right.
It's gonna be
was I rude?
I mean, you don't even know the guy.
I mean, but I've read about him. I feel like I've known him all these years.
Yeah, okay.
But he's 11-1-2. I mean, the guy can punch. I mean, here's what's interesting though is 2 fights ago he picked up 3 fights ago he picked up his first career loss. So, you know, he's been building back up a little bit.
Dang. Dude's all over the microphone.
There's all those sweet tarts, man. Now, this is an interesting fight, though, for Danny. It's, you know, I think anytime Danny's out there, man, he's got a puncher's chance to win. And we're going to pick that up. We're going to try to get Sammy Calderon, who's part of Team Rosenberger, to call in. And I think Sammy had his hand a little bit in setting up this fight. So we'll be back in a minute here, coming at you from the Gessler Propane Studios here in Struthers, Ohio.
Okay, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. So mommy's gonna teach you how to dress yourself. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole or you have to start all over. Socks going first, then shoes, right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops, the rabbit goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting's hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit tunein2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
This message is for all of you sitting in the passenger seat. And apologies if it gets a little uncomfortable. But how does it feel to be at the mercy of someone who thinks a random text is more important than your life? Someone who takes their eyes off the road while speeding along in a 3-ton hunk of steel. Freaky, right? Well, why not just ask them to stop? Or better yet, volunteer to text for them. It might be a little awkward, but believe me, you'll live.
Learn more at StopTextStopWrecks.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
We are live outside the home of Joe and Rosie Goddard, where a pretty big tickle fight broke out just minutes ago. Sources say their father instigated the laughter. Let's go inside for a comment. Apparently, they have no comment. Dads, let this be a reminder that it only takes a moment to make a moment. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
How's it going? I'm having a stroke. Are you going to shake my hand? I'm having a stroke. Wow, you're not even moving your arm. I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
We're back at it for the second half hour. Fight night in Youngstown with Brian Vinny coming at you live from the Gessler Propane Studio here in beautiful Struthers, Ohio. Has anyone ever said that before?
I don't know. I'm sure it's been said.
You don't
by
remember the
somebody
old
somewhere.
commercials? You know, if something was business, it was beautiful downtown Struthers.
I mean,
I don't know. It was a few years. All right, never mind. Go
Yeah,
back to my
I
hole
will
now.
say I will
Must
say
be
this about
aged
Struthers
out.
though. Seeing Baseball Park in Struthers is probably the most beautiful baseball facility like anywhere around here. So
Oh, yeah.
there's good things here in
We used to always
Struthers, man.
play in Scene.
Good things here in Struthers. My daughter lives in
Lot of-
Struthers, so you know.
lot of good things and a lot of bad things as of late, huh?
Oh man, we won't go there.
A lot going on in Struthers these days.
Good old Struthers. No, but yeah, Danny Rosenberger. Hey, we always call him the busiest fighter in Youngstown, but I guess now we're calling him the draw.
Yeah, the draw.
Danny, feel good Hollywood. But no, this is a big fight for Danny, and every time it seems like Danny's about to fight, I'm always saying, you know what, this is a big fight for Danny, you know, and I think finally this is Danny's biggest fight.
It is. I mean, because there's a belt on the line, of course, it's his biggest fight, and you know, this is if he's ever going to come out and let his hands go, this is the time to do it. Just a shame that he's gonna be dealing with the height issue and long range. So, you know, there's no doubt in my mind that Sammy will have him, 100% ready. And I know his conditioning is through the roof.
Yeah.
So it's just, is he going to come out and show what he can do? You know, I mean, it's always a question right now.
Now, if you're Danny, what's Danny probably go, about 5'10"? Yeah,
he's taller than I am, yeah.
He's probably about 5'10". How do you deal with someone who's 6'2"? I mean, what would be the take that you would take on that?
Well, for starters, man, you can't be on the end of his punches. That's where the power stings. So he's gonna have to use a lot of head movement, and he's gonna have to circle his man and try to stay off of the ropes. Lateral movement is gonna be it plays an important part, and being able to slip inside and get close and let your hands go and work. I'm pretty sure the guy's an orthodox fighter. So me personally, you have to take and occupy the hands and try to control your opponent's hands a little bit and be a little tricky. Circle your man left and right so you can pick an opening. And when you see something, just let your hands go and make sure you're bending your knees and rolling out and stepping around your guy. I think if he does that, he'll be successful. Sometimes Danny likes to play in that posture where he's on that front foot a lot and leaning over. That could be a little dangerous against somebody that's tall. So I'm actually Jen was saying the other day that we might even take a ride out there to watch this fight. So I'm intrigued. I want to see how it goes down. And of course, I'd like to be supportive to a Youngstown guy fighting for a belt. All those New England belt. We were just talking about this. I find it funny how you could be fighting for the New England belt and be from Youngstown, or be fighting for the Ohio belt and be from New York. It's just weird, man, to me.
Sammy asked the number again.
I told you.
What? Is it coming through?
Hello,
Sammy.
Oh, there he is.
What's up,
Sammy? What's going on? Sammy Calderon on the line with us. Sammy, how did this fight with Danny fighting for the USA New England belt? How did this actually come about?
apparently the promoter there called Danny. And Danny took the fight. Danny told me, I was like, take the fight. I think they're trying to set Danny up to go up there. Because like I told Danny, I don't understand how a guy from Ohio was fighting for New England belt.
That's what I just got done saying. That's so weird.
Yeah, exactly. They take that real serious up there. Because I was trying to fight for the Massachusetts title one time, and I got robbed. Because Pat Pantanelli's like, no guy from Ohio is going to win a New England belt. That was about 97.
Yeah, and that's how I would think it would go down. You know, if it's a close fight and you got the New England belt on the line, you're gonna give it to the kid from New England.
Yeah, exactly. So I told what we've been working on. I said, Tanny, you're gonna have to win a knockout. You have to knock this kid out. You got to do a Billy Lau when you get the Duddy up there.
Absolutely.
You have to remember, you have to go in there and go at him. Go at him there, because I'm gonna tell you, if it's a close decision. Or even even if you blow him out, they'll still probably give it to him. So we're going to have to go for the knockout. So what I had Danny doing, fighting from elbow to body inside. That's why I wanted to support Willie Nelson. Get inside and go to work. Move some furniture around. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. No, that's pretty much what I was just saying. That, you know, he's going to have to work his way inside, you know, kind of controlling his opponent's hands and use lateral movement when he is on the outside to stay off of that power at the end of a punch and work his way in from there and then let his hands go. Then he's going to have to bend his knees and step around, get out of there, you know what I mean, when he wants to stop punching. He needs to get out of there going left and right, you know, not stepping straight back.
Exactly. Like I told Danny, you're going to have to bully this guy. First round, bully him. Stick to the game plan. Stick to the game plan every round, and just work him. Wear him down. Wear him down. I'm trying to tell Danny. Danny does like everybody's been telling him. Danny has power, and I feel if Danny lands a good shot to this kid's chin, kid's going out.
Yeah, and you know, Danny, when he sits down on his punches, he can pop. I've noticed that a couple times I've watched him spar. Sometimes, on the other hand, though, you see Danny and he's moving too much, and it's like, yo, you're not planting your feet. You're not twisting on them punches enough. So, like I said just a minute ago, Jen and I were talking about coming out there and actually, being supportive and watching and coming out there to root him on. I believe, me personally, I see the way the kid trains. I see how he's living his life right now and everything. His only problem is believing in himself to go out there and get it done.
Psychological, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And that's what I told him. I said, this is motivation. And also, I told him the other day, I told him it's motivation. He goes, yeah. I said, listen, if you win this belt, you're up on your dad's belt. Because his dad had the New Jersey. And he goes, how's that possible? It's a belt. No, your dad had a belt from one state, New Jersey. You're going to have a belt from 6 states. Think about a New England belt.
Okay, so you know how that works. So explain how that works with that belt. You said 6 states.
Well, New England colonies.
The New England belt, it's Massachusetts.
Well, listen, hold on real quick. So you have to explain that stuff to me because, I don't know nothing. You're talking to colonies and all that. Get out of here.
So we're talking.
I'm a fighter, bro.
New England is it's Massachusetts, Rhode Island, New Hampshire, Vermont, Maine, and I think Connecticut's involved in it too. And that's what they call it, New England. Because the Patriots play in
Foxborough, Massachusetts.
They were the Boston Patriots at one time.
Okay,
so
I knew that. I'm not hip with the whole colony thing. You ever bring that out? Hit me with something like that again, Brian? Part of the colony. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah,
have a tea
that's
party.
What they do up there. And to me, that's like a second home up there. So after the fight, after the victory, we're going to head back to Boston to my brother's house.
Yeah, is that where the party's at?
It's going to be. We're fighting on. It's going to be St. Patty's Day.
Oh, nice, yeah. I might definitely get in on this then. Massachusetts on St. Patrick's Day.
Exactly.
Oh man,
in Boston.
I'm gonna need bail money.
We're going to stay with my brother's house after the fight. And we're going to get some free drinks when Danny has that belt wrapped around his waist.
There you go,
yeah. Like I told Danny, let your hands go. Let your hands go. And just bully the guy and get inside and go to work. Let's wear this guy down. The last 2 rounds, we go for the knockout. But we got to wear him out because, like I said, this guy's everything's on him. It's his hometown. And plus, he's favored, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's going to think he's going to have an easy walk with Danny. So we're gonna go in there. We're gonna settle. We're gonna do it like I said, Billy Lau, what he did to Duddy. Nobody expected Billy to do what he did to Duddy. You guys know that. Billy went out there and put the work on the guy, and look what happened. And I told Danny, you beat this guy, I can start your career a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? After all those brawls.
Yeah, I told Vinny, every time Danny has a fight, we're always talking about, this is the biggest fight of his career, but this is finally the biggest fight of Danny's career. No doubt about it. I mean, he wins this fight, his phone's going to be ringing off the hook left and right.
Right. I told Danny, we're going up there with a mindset to win. No family's going. You know what I'm saying? So Danny ain't got to worry about the family coming in and other people coming in. We're going to somebody else's hometown. Let's do it. You know what I'm saying? Let's do an upset. Let's have fun with this. And he's been up about this. You know what I mean? He's been really working hard, and especially he's been working out real hard on different things. With the guy up there in Whan on combat.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I think right now Danny's in the best shape of his life right now.
Yeah, his name, Brian's his name, yeah.
Brian, I'm sorry. When he's coming with me, he'll be working the corner with me, Brian.
Okay.
And stuff.
So you and Brian are going up, no Tommy?
Nah, Tommy got to work. I'm going to have to get a shirt with Tommy's picture on it, and he'll be in the corner with me.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
So he's my partner. That's my bud.
We should get a little Tommy Cordell doll.
Yeah,
like a Cabbage Patch Kid or something to take with you.
Yeah, but yeah, like I said, I feel good about this. There's no distractions, and we're gonna be relaxed. Plus, we're fighting at a venue. We're not at a casino. I think Danny gets kind of tripped. Have you ever looked at Danny's stats? He always gets to draw at a casino.
Yeah,
He's too pumped to play blackjack after the fight, man.
Exactly. See, he's worrying about the blackjack table. So I figure we're going to a venue. He's going to look good because every time we fight at a venue, Danny looks great. It's crazy. I'm the type of guy who thinks stupid shit like that. Sorry my language. I'm sorry.
Family show. I'm just playing.
Sorry about that.
No, you're good. No, it's exciting, man. I mean, this fight's been on BoxRec for about a month now, if I'm not mistaken.
You owe the studio $1.
Yeah, we got a swear jar here.
We got a swear jar.
All right. I'm not gonna apologize.
We're no, you're good. We're just trying to get enough money in the swear jar to buy us some 24-ounce Pabst Blue Ribbons.
PBRs, so Brian could come on the air and burp in the microphone.
Well, I'll donate $5 for that.
I mean this fight's been the works then for a while though. I mean Danny's known about this fight for a while, but I think we kind of kept on the hush because he had that fight at Mount Air just about 3 weeks ago, so you didn't want to overlook that, and that was just a horrible decision. That was bad.
It was, it was, but like I said, he got the draw, but like I told Danny, he did good work, and like I said. It's crazy how it's good that fight. He was doing his defense, everything perfect. Everything was perfect. And I just don't know how they gave him a draw. You know what I mean?
Well, that's that issue when you're young and in the sport as a pro and you're coming through and you're out of town. Getting them to sit. He's fighting too good for them to rob him. You know what I mean? So they got to give him the draw.
Right. Yeah, I gave him the draw. But like I said, it's past now. We're past that. And we're concentrating on his fight. And like I said, we're not putting on pressure on ourselves. We're just going in here to win.
And that's why I like, man. Dan, you're not going in there to be an opponent, man. You're going in there to walk away a champion. And
exactly.
At club shows, man, you at least see 3 fighters a night that come in as an opponent. And and I will tell you what, Plumeri, who we saw Danny just rock at Mount Air a few months ago, Eric Plumeri from Lockport, New York. He fought that Richie Conalina up at
Pretty Richie.
Yeah, he fought pretty Richie, and I was just talking about the fight earlier. And have you heard about that fight yet, dude? No. I scored it a 2-2 draw. The one judge had 2-2 draw, then the other 2 judges had 3-1 Pretty Richie. But I told Vinny if that fight was going to be 30 more seconds, Plumeri had him beat. The bell saved Pretty Richie, man. Plumeri, he looked like a whole different fighter than what Danny fought, man. Plumeri looked like a whole different fighter from the previous 2 times I've seen him. And That was it, man. I mean, that was a guy that was brought in to be an opponent, but he thought differently, man. Differently, and he came in there and he came to win. And when you take that mindset to come in and win, as opposed to being an opponent, man, good things can happen. So I definitely some of the things that you did mention, I do like is the fact that, as you said, there's going to be no casino there.
All right.
No family. I imagine that no girlfriend, stuff like that. So it's strictly a business trip. And there's no reason in my mind why Danny can't go up there. The one thing that Danny's got to do is, at least every time I see Danny fight, this even goes back to when he fought Justin Steve, he always catches some. He always gets that one shot where he catches someone, but he's usually then he's not letting his hands go, so he has nothing following it. And so when he stuns him, man, you gotta have something following it to finish that.
Well, hold on, Sammy. Let me just chime in here and say, now I'm not picking on you, but from a fighter standpoint, there comes a time in a fighter's career where it takes a while for them to see that or notice when they hurt somebody. Because I remember when I was in the amateurs, a lot of times I would hit people and I would hurt them, and I'd get back to the fight would be over, and Jack would be like, "Yo, why didn't you jump on him when you hurt him?" Because you don't recognize it, and sometimes what I noticed was because of where I'm looking. When I first started boxing, for some reason, and I don't know why it's been so long, but I didn't look at a guy in his face. You know what I mean? I was more looking at like his hands and his chest area,
Absolutely, yeah.
So when I did hurt somebody, I didn't notice, And I've heard that's, and seen that that's a problem amongst a lot of guys who don't have a lot of, a whole lot of experience. You know what I mean? And so that could be part of it. Just not recognizing it at that moment. What do you say, Sammy? I mean, am I right? Is that a problem?
You're exactly right on that. What I'm trying to do with Danny, I told Danny he's got to put his nose to this guy's chest. Like I told him, we got to fight this guy from elbow to body and to put pressure on him, make him work. Like I told Danny, he's been working real hard with Brian, and he's in tip-top shape. So let's show what the tip-top shape is. Let's get this guy. Let's go in there, okay? And Danny, I have seen you knock people out. I have seen Danny do it. And Danny goes at him. If Danny can do that, one fight I saw him when he knocked this kid out and went at him, if he does that on the 15th, then he'll be fine. You know what I mean? But we got to apply the pressure on this kid. Can't stay, like you said, can't stay on the outside with a guy with long arms. And especially Danny. I got Danny our whole training camp. Do not put your hands down below your nose.
Yeah, you can't do that, especially against a guy that's real long, like a Willie Nelson.
I want.
Exactly. That's why when I called you up and asked if we could spar Willie, if he can get it underneath Willie, then like you said, this guy's no way close to Willie's,
caliber of fighter. Yep. Not the same caliber.
And plus, if Danny gets inside Willie and a little good work, it might give him the confidence. Hey, you're going against a guy who fought some top guys, and Willie, he was just smarting him. You know what I'm saying? To give you the confidence, go in there and go after this guy. Don't treat this guy like he's some great. He's just another local guy they're trying to pump up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because the other thing about Willie too is he can pop. You know what I mean? When you're in there with Willie Nelson, he can pop. So if you're getting close to Willie, you know what I'm saying? You're fighting off two things right there: the length. And three things: the length, the height, and some power. You know what I mean, that you're dealing with.
And we were watching the video. One thing that is different, this kid, Willie likes to fight inside. Sometimes gets him in trouble. You know that, right?
Oh yeah, he doesn't fight at his range all the time.
All right, but he fight. This kid doesn't know how to fight inside. We watched his fights. Everything's got to be on the outside. So that's why I told Dan, you have to, once you get into the house, wreck the house up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Especially this kid's body. Let's kill the body. It's going to kill the head. But we got to stick to the game plan. We can't just go from one thing to another. If it's working, we're going to stick with it. Until we got a B plan. That doesn't work, we got another plan. So I've been trying to I've been really pumped up about this fight because I'm going back to my second home up there. That's why I used to box too. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So right now, I told my brother, there's a lot of people coming from Massachusetts up there, Rhode Island, to come check out my fighters. You know what I'm saying? So
Well, that's cool.
Dan's
That's
gonna
cool.
have a little crowd up there. But I told him, don't even tell Bunfield I'm working the corner. You know what I'm talking about, right? It's the kid's promoter.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I told him, don't even tell him I'm working the corner. It's going to be surprise, surprise, surprise.
Uh-oh.
You know what I'm saying? Just keep telling Tommy Cordell. Then he's going to find out that I'm there to win. I want that Massachusetts belt. And Danny, I'm going to get that New England belt. I'm taking it home back to Ohio. Both of us are. And
Yeah,
we will be
well, there
wearing
you go.
we will be wearing-
That's extra. That's an extra incentive right there, man. Like your desire to want to compete against the guys that you know up there should drive him a little bit more to succeed in winning that belt. I know it does for me when I know people are behind me, or when somebody wants something. You know, hey, for some reason it makes something click inside, and you work harder and you push harder and you become more determined. So hopefully. You know, God willing, that all that takes place, and he brings that belt home, and you get to sit back and smile at all of them on St. Patrick's Day, like ha ha ha.
Well, yeah, and like I told Danny, you know, I got a feeling if Danny does perform the way he's supposed to and wins this fight, it's going to boost his confidence up for the next fight. You know what I'm trying to say?
Sure.
Danny just needs confidence in himself to throw the punches, and it's like I said, it's in his head. And he has to go out there and perform. And I think I got a feeling he finally got it. You know what I'm saying? But we will see up in Mass.
I want to see Danny fight like he did when he fought Daly at the Meadows. That would have been, I think, last May. He fought a complete fight, man. He started off a little slow, but it was kind of like in the plan a little bit of kind of wear Daly out. Then he finally just kept putting him on. I would tell you what, that was I thought that was about to be a fight that somehow they were going to try to take away from Danny because the referee kept not scoring him knockdowns and stuff like that. It should have been a knockout to begin with. I mean, it was just a weird fight, but Danny just outclassed this guy. He let his hands go at the right times, showed good footwork. That was the best I ever seen Danny fight. I think I've seen Danny fight probably about 7 times this past year.
So, Sammy,
I've been on Danny a lot just right now. Last couple of weeks, I've been screaming so much for him to throw. I keep telling him, how are you watching Rosenberger's kid? Please tell me that.
I'm sure that comes out a lot, huh?
Yeah, I says, come on, how is your uncle Razor? How? Let's Razor. Those guys came out and just threw everything. Your dad used to grab the ring post and hit the guy. I sparred him. I remember he just threw punches after punches after punches. You got to be just like him. Let your dad come out of you. It's in you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he looked at me and he says, I got it. Okay, you got it. Do it.
Yeah. Now show me. That's what I'd like to tell the kids. Show me, man. Impress me.
Impress me.
Till then, hey, shut up and hit the punching bag. That's what I tell them. Be quiet and hit the punching bag till you show me
exactly.
what you can do. Hey, I got a real quick question. So, how many rounds are they fighting?
I think it's 6 rounds.
I think it's 6 rounds.
6 rounds.
All right, so here's another one of my issues. How are you fighting 6 rounds for a belt?
This should be at least 8 rounds, in my opinion.
I think a state belt should be at least 8 rounds or a 10 round. It's not a title fight.
I'm trying to tell you guys, they're taking Danny lightly.
Yeah, okay? I was just asking because I'm thinking like the more rounds to get comfortable and to get going would benefit Danny. I would think.
Well, I know that, but I'd rather have 6 rounds. Because right now, like I said, Danny's in shape. And I says, we got to fight this fight like it's a 12-round fight. You got to pack everything into it. You know what I'm saying? This kid, I got to think this kid thinks he's going to have a walkthrough. And I told Danny, the first round, you have to be disciplined and go out there and put it into him. This first round, we have to put no doubt in him. You know what I'm saying, Vinny?
I do. And my second question for you was, so being since he's fighting out there, there's no going to be like
no pressure.
No, like
no distractions.
Well, no distractions. I know all that. I'm saying like you know how like everybody's televising some things through the internet, like an ITV or Fight TV.
Oh, yeah.
Like there's going to be no way. I mean, for like people that are listening or going to be listening to the show, is this fight going to be anywhere going to be
Streamed
on
anywhere,
streamed
yeah.
or on any type of device or anything like that or app or?
It's a local show. It's a local show.
I mean, I got you. So
this fight, it's just for this kid to pump this kid up. Because I just, when Danny told me about the fight, I said, okay. When he told me it was for the belt, I straight told Danny's face, oh, they're overlooking you. They're trying to make an easy fight. You know what I'm saying? I've been up there. I know how I kind of know how they think. And like I said, the kid's going to be overconfident. And the last couple fights I saw, you put pressure on him, he's going to fold. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. Yeah.
When you lost that one fight, the guy put pressure on him and he knocked him down. And the kid after that was never the same.
You know, when I look at when I look at a fighter like Danny, now I'm taking myself out of I'm going to take myself and put myself in a fighter's outlook, and I look at a guy like Danny whose record with all these draws, he's the last person I would be trying to take lightly, because if he's getting draws, those are probably wins.
A lot of them are wins.
That's what I'm saying. They're all out of town. Those are wins. You know what I mean? So you're looking at a kid, be like, oh, he's got all these draws. Like, no. You're thinking wrong. If you're taking this kid lightly, it only takes him, coming out and doing exactly what you said, letting his hands go and applying the pressure and using his conditioning to outlast this guy and win. I just think as a fighter, I would be thinking like, this is the wrong guy to be taken lightly. I might even try to be thinking like for the belt, I might even pass it up. And that's kind of what I was getting to with the rounds. Like, they probably want the 6 rounds because they're hoping he can outpoint him in the 6 rounds. You leave it to Danny for 8 rounds, and Danny ends up sliding away with the belt.
Well, you're exactly right about that. But like I told Danny, that first round is very crucial. We have to put a no doubt in this kid's mind. Don't be trying to fill him out. You do you. You know what I'm saying?
We hear you.
Put pressure on him. Then the fight's going to start the second round. Once this kid knows he's in for a fight, we're going to put self-doubt in him.
Yep.
We got to do strategy. Keep it real. This kid's tough. He's got long arms. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
And Danny's got a habit of putting his hands down thinking he's Mayweather sometimes.
All right. Well, I guess
that's
that's wrapping it up here. I got the music playing in my ears, but
okay.
Sammy, listen. Hey, when you guys win that fight, we'll get you in the studio in here with the belt, man. That'd be awesome.
All right, guys.
All right, Sammy Calderon, thanks for calling in.
Hey, make sure you save the phone number.
Yes, I will.
For Vinny,
you, Vinny.
Brian, our producer, Jim, keep on fighting Youngstown. I got a feeling Danny's going to come out strong and bring home a title, man.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
You're listening to WKKX-DB, Western Reserve Radio, the radio home of the Youngstown Phantoms, part of the Live 365 Network and SB Nation.
Quicken Loans presents the Sports Flash, driven by Jeep on Western Reserve Radio. NHL last night, the Blue Jackets beat the Devils 2-1 in the shootout. In overtime, the Penguins beat the Panthers 3-2. Both teams jockeying for position in the Metropolitan Division. The win for the Penguins pulls them into a third-place tie with the Carolina Hurricanes. Columbus keeping pace. They remain 2 points behind both teams. College hoops, Toledo beat Western Michigan 76-57. Kent State 75-66 winners at Miami of Ohio. Number 19 Buffalo beat the Ohio Bobcats 82-79. NBA tonight, the Cavaliers visit the Nets. Cleveland coming off Sunday's 107-93 victory at home over the Orlando Magic. The Nets started off the season hot, but they've slipped as of late. Just 4 wins in their last 10. They're 7th in the Eastern Conference, a 500 team at 33-30. The Cavaliers at 16-48. Jeep's the most awarded SUV brand ever. Take advantage of Jeep Freedom Days now at your local Jeep dealer. The Sports Flash is driven by Jeep, Chuck Sanders, Western Reserve Radio.
With Amazon Music, a voice is all you need.
I don't mean to be so uptight, but my heart's been hurt a couple times by a couple guys that didn't treat me right. I ain't gonna lie.
Alexa, play Meant to Be on Amazon Music.
Okay. If it's meant to be, it'll be. Baby, just let it be. If it's meant to be.
Get access to over 50 million songs. Download the Amazon Music app today.
Hi, it's Jamie, Progressive's Employee of the Month, 2 months in a row. Leave a message at the...
Hey, Jamie, it's me.